Welcome everybody to my third installment, my third devlog of my game. I don't know what the name is yet. And I was gonna do it a little differently. I was gonna edit this thing up and I was gonna, really cut all the pieces together, get some B-roll, put it together, and I just could not. I realized I just didn't make enough footage to do that. I did some footage of me scripting and it just didn't work out, okay? And also excuse, I realize it's kind of loud, the mic is loud. It's because I'm using a crappy mic. And upgrades are coming. The upgrades are coming. Anyway, so I bet you're all wondering what has changed since we last were here. And a lot has changed. In fact, I have done a little bit of some work last night, and as you can see, we have people within the towns. So let me give you the rundown. Yesterday, I made the towns populate NPCs, which before we just had cats, these little cats down here. Now we have people, and they have their own unique info system, which is different than the cats. So it will eventually display their gender, their age, their type, and their name. So their type's human. That should just be in there already. Right now we have descriptions. We have gender, female, height, short, black. His hair is black. Oh, her hair is black. And then their eyes are hazel, and then they have traits, which brave, curious. So those traits are going to come into play more and more. We're going to make those traits change the way that they behave and act and affect their health points and speed and whatnot. So if they're, I think there's a couple people that, let's see, cautious, reserved, yeah. So reserved, curious. Reserved, and they're really right now there's not a lot of traits, so maybe if they're cautious, they won't they have a bigger radius to stay away from enemies or something, so that kind of thing. If they're cowardly, then they are good at their speed's higher, and they're not good at combat, that kind of stuff, and it'll get more and more in depth. So what else has changed? Well, we have fonts now that look more like a game. We have fonts that are, not the default Godot, which is nice. We also have a coordinate system up here. So wherever the mouse is hovering, this is the coordinates of that area. We also have town. So right now my mouse is hovering over nothing, so there's no town. But when you go over here, the town is Eastville, so it populates the name of the town and displays it. And we also have region, so we're in the northwest region of the map. If we scroll out and we go over here where some other towns are, we're now in the southeast region, and we're in the town of Weston, and then over here, the town of Fortin, and the town of Riverboro, which I guess it's cutting it off. Riverboro, yeah. So we have towns have names, and towns also have NPCs that populate them. And right now they just kind of wander, but they have towns over there, and this is going to be their hometown of origin and whatnot. The big thing I did last night, because I was trying to implement which I'll show you right now. I was trying to implement this screen, world information screen, and you could see the history of the towns, the empires, relations, and I was gonna implement that. But the problem I realized, which you might have just seen, is that when I switch scenes to this and go back, it reloads the entire map and creates a new world. So that's not good. So now we have completely different towns, different places. So I realized that I'm gonna need to implement a save system to avoid that. And so now, and that took a little while last night. I stayed up pretty late doing that. It wasn't too tricky, but yeah, you know, I never done that before. I've never done save. I've never gotten that far in game development where I needed to save things. So down here we have a save and a load. So we'll save, and there's no indication that we saved because I didn't make that. But we'll let the NPCs wander around a little bit, and if we load, they'll just jump back to the position that they were at before. So there you go. So they loaded right back to where they were. That also saves the map, and it stores the seed of the generation, the procedural generation, and the towns, and all that. So we have a save system now, so that's good. And these coordinates up here are eventually going to be important, maybe for when the player is able to move around. And I'm thinking in the town menu, each town will have it'll store their coordinates, so you are able to travel to that place and you know exactly where it's at, type thing. So those are some changes. I know I said I'm gonna add some civilization stuff, but well, I mean, I kind of did, because the towns need people to have a civilization, and I didn't have people yet. And it turns out I need to implement a lot of things before I can actually get to civilization interactions and like trade routes and economy and stuff like that. It's gonna just take a little longer. Like, for instance, saving. I needed to have a save system before I could implement those kind of things. So yeah, and you know, I want to say big thanks to everyone watching the videos, and I actually got a subscriber. So I had 8 subscribers before, which I guess is like friends and family, and now I have 1 subscriber from a video that I made. Mark Hominick is his name. I saw it on there. So Mark, big shout out. Thank you, Mark. And I actually have something special for you, Mark. You're my first subscriber, and what is this? Wait a minute. There's a guy over here. He's moving around. He's a different color. What is he? Let's pause. Well, that's Mark Hominick. He's 19, which the age is random. Male. Wow. Well, it says his gender is female, but so I messed that up. Yeah, wow. So Mark Hominick in my game? That's pretty crazy. I just thought I'd do that to be fun, and you know, to show my appreciation. And yeah, I think I'll leave Mark Hominick in there, and maybe he'll be like a little Easter egg character, and you know, you can meet him in the game and stuff. So big shout out to Mark. Thank you, Mark, for subscribing to me, and please keep watching. I'm gonna keep making these devlogs every day, and yeah, I mean, that's really about it. So save system, I mean, it's coming together, right? Like, it's starting to look a little bit better, I think. So you know, we got the region, we got this, you know, we can see things, we can save. It's getting there. It's really getting there, and we're gonna eventually start doing you know, more interactions, enemies, and different types of races of people. Well, because it's gonna be, you know, fantasy style. So you know, we're gonna have goblins and orcs and humans, and they're gonna have different relations. So we're gonna do all of that. It's just you know, we're building it from the ground up. Yeah, we're using Godot. We're using Godot engine, but within Godot engine, we're building it from the ground up. And it's fun. It's really fun. So stick around. Mark, thanks for viewing. And I actually got one other subscriber. I just saw it today. So Blake something. So Blake, thank you too. And I think, you know, maybe I'll add you in here too. Do a little something. So okay. Anyway, that's about it. Thanks, guys.